With less than 2 weeks to go before the 2022 All-Star festivities in Cleveland, Ohio, the NBA announced that LaMelo Ball and Dejounte Murray would make their All-Star debuts, replacing injured stars Kevin Durant and Draymond Green. But some people have questioned whether these first-time All-Stars or if there were more deserving options. And how are these replacements even determined? But first, a reminder about our brand new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2K22 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment with the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple. How NBA All-Star replacements work. When the NBA opens up the All-Star voting period for fans, media members, players, and coaches, the votes are submitted regardless of a player's status. So if a player is injured or currently inactive, but he's still voted in, he is an official All-Star for the season. But once it's been determined that a player won't make it to the All-Star game, it's up to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver to select and announce their respective replacements. This year, Silver chose LaMelo Ball and Dejounte Murray to replace Kevin Durant and Draymond Green on the Eastern and Western Conference player pools, respectively. And even though KD was a starter and is actually one of the two captains as the lead vote-getter from the East, LaMelo won't be replacing him in the starting lineup. That honor will go to Jason Tatum. Per NBA rules, when a starter must be replaced, his place will be taken by the reserve from the same conference and the same position group, in this case front court, who received the highest rankings in the voting for the All-Star starter spots. This happened to be Tatum this year. However, Durant will remain the captain of his team and is still in charge of drafting his team's roster for the All-Star game. The Ball brothers' prophecy. You can call LeVar Ball anything you want, arrogant, egregious, or loudmouth, but nobody can deny the fact he warned us that his sons would take over the NBA and be among the league's top stars. Lonzo, the oldest brother, is yet to become a franchise player, but after a rocky start to his career as a Los Angeles Lakers, Lonzo showed massive improvements while playing for the New Orleans Pelicans. He's taken his game to another level after signing with the Chicago Bulls this past offseason, so perhaps his rise to stardom is yet to come. But LaMelo, he's already there. I'm pretty much blessed, excited, LaMelo commented after learning he'd been named as an All-Star injury reserve. The season is still going on. The game is going on. I'm just worried about the game. It's a humble and grateful answer from a kid many already looked at the wrong way before he even entered the league. His father's antics didn't help his reputation, but after winning the Rookie of the Year award last season and helping launch the Charlotte Hornets into playoff contention this year, it's clear that LaMelo Ball will be a big baller for years to come. Happy for Melo, happy for his teammates. Hornets head coach James Borrego said, "I think they need to share this together. They've done this together, and I know they're extremely happy for him, proud of him, as I am as a coach, thrilled for our organization." Ball is indeed the franchise's first All-Star since Kemba Walker, and just the team's third All-Star in 20 years. The Hornets have been stuck in mediocrity for a very long time, so LaMelo is their current glimmer of hope for change. Don't go anywhere, because we're about to take a look at LaMelo Ball and Dejounte Murray All-Star case and see whether these were the right injury replacement choices, because this year we saw multiple superstar names getting snubbed. Moving into the Spurs' future. After dominating the league for the better part of 2 decades, it's been a rough stretch for the San Antonio Spurs since their legendary Big Three retired, which led to San Antonio trading the Claw in 2018 and moving into an unofficial rebuild. The Spurs have always been known for their excellent scouting and player development departments. One of their projects was Dejounte Murray, the 29th overall pick in the 2016 draft. Murray came into the league without a consistent jump shot and with questionable decision-making skills as a 6'4" point guard. He had a slow start to his career in his rookie season, but by year 2, he was already starting some games and showing signs of promise. That's when the worst-case scenario happened. In a 2018 preseason game, Dejounte suffered a torn right ACL and was forced to miss the entire 2018-2019 campaign. And while for most players an ACL tear means their best basketball is behind them, Murray has put in the work to not only come back but launch his career into stardom. Shortly before being revealed as an injury replacement for Draymond Green in the All-Star game, Green himself sang Murray's praises. "I actually expected the Spurs' record to be even worse than what it actually is, and I think it hasn't been that in large part due to Dejounte's play," Green told NBA on TNT. He continues to grow each and every year. You're talking about a kid who had an ACL injury, rehab, and came back stronger. If you follow Dejounte at all, the kid lives in the gym, so hopefully he'll get rewarded one of these days soon. Safe to assume the former DPOY definitely approves of his All-Star game replacement. Dejounte Murray's All-Star case. Emerging as the best player on the rebuilding San Antonio Spurs, Murray is almost averaging a triple-double this year. He holds averages of 19.6 points, 8.4 rebounds, 9.2 assists, and a league-leading 2.1 steals per game, while shooting 45.4% from the field, 31.6% from the three-point land, and 74% from the charity stripe. He's been one of the few bright spots for the young Spurs, who are still developing and growing, both individually and collectively. Even though he's only 25 years old and playing his 5th season, he's one of San Antonio's veterans, and he's the longest-tenured player on the team. And as such, he's taken it upon himself to lead the team on the court. The team's results leave a lot to be desired, but Dejounte is doing his part and more. Murray leads the league in steals per game, is 4th in assists per game, and has 10 triple-doubles this year, the second most in the NBA behind Denver's triple-double machine, Nikola Jokic. His 10 triple-doubles are also a Spurs single-season record, and he's currently tied with San Antonio legend David Robinson for the most triple-doubles in the franchise history. And it's not only about the stats. You can see Murray wants to win. You see it in his defensive hustle and in his development as a shooter. All that's left is for him to continue improving and hope the Spurs can get him some help. Was anybody snubbed? As with every year, there will always be people complaining about All-Star snubs. The truth of the matter is there are always snubs. The league has become so talented that it's impossible to recognize every good player's season with an All-Star selection. But this year's snubs are particularly big names. Bradley Beal and Jaylen Brown are the two biggest stars missing from the East All-Star selections. Beal is averaging 23.2 points and 6.6 assists per game this year, with 45, 30, 83 shooting splits. After starting off the season in extremely strong fashion, the Wizards have had a very poor performance over the last 2 months, which is probably the reason why Beal didn't make it. Brown is averaging 23.9 points on 45, 35, 78 shooting splits for the Celtics, and is the highest scorer in the league not named to the All-Star team this season. The Celtics' case was opposite to the Wizards, as Boston started the season extremely slow and has found itself back in the playoff race after a great start to the 2022 calendar year. As for the Western Conference snubs, we have no idea how Paul George and Anthony Davis weren't selected this year. The Clippers forward is averaging 24.7 points and 5.5 assists per game on 42, 32, 88 splits, but has only been able to appear in 26 games this season. As for Davis, the big man is averaging 23.7 points and 10.2 rebounds on 53, 18, 73 splits, and has also missed over 20 games due to injury. This is probably the reason why both George and AD weren't considered by voters, but you would have to think that they would definitely be named All-Stars with the seasons they've had. With all this said, the only possible question marks people could place on LaMelo and Murray's heads regarding their All-Star selections involve team success, but their individual seasons have been amazing, and it's great seeing younger players start getting recognition and taking over the league. What do you think of Ball and Murray as All-Star replacements? Were they the right choices? Was anybody else snubbed? Make sure to let us know in the comment section down below, and we'll see you in the next one.